As a cynical Eastern European who do not like to take things at face value, I would assume that the situation in France is very bad for the political establishment if they are willing to take such measures. They must believe that come next elections they may lose their seats of power. Because why else would they put something like this? Apparently, the police is going to be able to spy on suspects not only through their phones, but through their laptops, cars, and everything that has smart in it. This used to be a dangerous and harmful conspiracy theory on the internet a couple of years ago. But here we are. Oh my god. Who could have predicted this? Oh, if only people were made aware. I do believe that if people were made aware, no one would care. Because TikTok, for example, is a renowned spyware app. And yet people still install it. People still use it. There have been a couple of individuals like Ninja, I believe, who came out and said, yeah, I'm not going to have this shit on my computer. But overwhelmingly, people do not care about their privacy anymore. In my country, and I said this in a lot of previous videos, I'll repeat it again, but it is a crime to read someone else's email, to read someone else's phone without their consent. You can go to jail. If my wife has a letter and I open it, she can press charges. I can go to jail. Why is this? Well, it's because people who lived under communism were tired of the fascist shit that the government used to employ against its own citizens, that created an entire apparatus to spy on its citizens, including having secret police, microphones, bugs in people's telephones, like all this fascist shit. And people were tired of it, so they said, well, maybe privacy is important. And you get to see this, that many other countries across the world have tried similar things to give more privacy to the individual. Like, the government isn't your mommy and daddy at the end of the day. Your government isn't always having your best interests at heart because they don't even know your fucking name. So, with this in mind, we now see a move away from this, a way to move towards what we used to consider dictatorship, like the Soviet Union used to be, like Nazi Germany used to be. You know, they did bad things, but one of the more interesting things is that they had the secret police, and you had no private life. Like, literally everything you did was political and under scrutiny. So, apparently, this is now being done in France. I assume that they're going to justify this due to the riots, but I would like to point out that while the situation is bad in France right now, it is not something without historical precedent, and it is not something that we can say, well, it has never been this bad. In the past, it seems that the government managed to ensure law and order without having to spy on its own citizens, without having to resort to this fascist nonsense. And as we can see here, they're saying in the parliament, oh, well, we're far away from 1984. And I'm curious, like, well, what exactly more would you need to be at the 1984 level? If the police can actually use your phone in order to spy on you, use your laptop in order to spy on you, and everything that's smart, so that means your television station, your car if you have an electric vehicle, and many other things. Like, what more would you need in order to say, yes, we are at 1984 level? I guess they're referring to the part in the novel where everyone in their home had a spying device. Name me a person that doesn't have a laptop or a smartphone. Of course, they will say, well, you know, this is meant to save lives. Absolutely. You know, all fascist shit is justified as trying to save lives. They said this in the Soviet Union. Nazi Germany probably said it. Like, I've yet to see something that's a violation of people's privacy without being for a good cause. Usually it's for children, other time it's for saving life. Can we have every single person in a position of political power being spied as well? And, of course, broadcasted to the public? I mean, they don't have anything to hide, do they? Right? So can we have Emmanuel Macron, his family, and everyone else in his cabinet, you know, being spied upon, and the public could just go on the computer, do a few clickety-clacks and see what they are doing, listen to their phone, looking at their laptop? Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so it seems that what you do as a private individual should be of government importance and they should know about what you're doing, but we can't know what the politicians are doing. That should be opaque. There's no transparency when it comes to the government. I see. Very interesting. Now, I would like to point out that France has done a lot of fascist stuff during the COVID measures, right? Like they weren't as bad as Germany. Sure, there were other countries that were much more strict than they, but I do remember Macron claiming that their entire policy is to frustrate the unvaccinated, which to me sounded a little bit abhorrent because, as far as I knew, it wasn't illegal not to get the vaccine. Right? So to have the president say, like, we want to frustrate law-abiding citizens, that would be concerning. But still, France voted for him. A lot of people are saying, well, the difference between him and between Emmanuel Macron and Le Pen were just 8%. Yeah, I mean, that is a big difference, especially given all of the bad stuff that Macron did. I mean, we had the Yellow Vest protests, we had the COVID, and we got like a lot of other stuff. And then with all that, it was just an 8% difference. Well, that's a big difference. Will this be enough to flip the tide? Probably not. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they're going to use this for some political repression. I would be surprised if they don't, honestly. Like, I will be Pikachu face if I don't see this being used in order to target some members of the opposition. Of course, it's going to be for hate speech, for, like, oh, we found this and that. Yeah, but, like, when you put only the opposition under scrutiny, well, I'm pretty sure you can find things, Like, show me your internet browsing history so that I may see if you haven't visited some questionable website of compromising integrity, or if you've never downloaded something illegal like piracy software. Usually if you take an individual, this is actually a Soviet mentality. If you take an individual and you look deep enough, eventually you will find something compromising, if not actually illegal. So if you use this in order to target the opposition, then, well, you have a very strong weapon in hand. We noticed this with fact-checking. Like, fact-checking in the United States has been overwhelmingly left-leaning. Like, studies show that the Democrats were in control of most of the fact-checking apparatus, directly or indirectly. And this is why, before Twitter added the community posts, it was almost always Republicans being fact-checked. And of course, when people would complain, they would say, well, it's because only Republicans lie. Democrats are the new brand of politician that never existed before in human history. The only type of politician that never says a lie. Besides Abraham Lincoln, I guess. Right? So it is what it is. I don't think this is going to piss off the French people that much, to be honest. I mean, we live in the era where people embrace surveillance. If you give a person the ability to choose between a smart house and a regular house, they will choose the smart house 90% of the time. If you give people the ability to choose between a smart car and a regular car, they will choose the smart car. It is what it is, and I don't think that people care about their privacy as much as they should. But what can we do? It's just the reality of the situation. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.